The Women's US Open is all wrapped up, so with that being said, it is now time to recap the whole entire event by going over the good, the bad, and the ugly from the 2024 US Open. As you guys know, if you've seen these videos before, we always get started with the good. And for the good, I'm going with the two ladies that met in the championship of this year's US Open. Let's get started by talking about the champion, Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka, great hard court showing throughout the course of 2024. Of course, wins the Australian Open earlier in the year, and then this short, intermittent hard court season here, wins at Cincinnati, follows it up by winning the U.S. Open, her first U.S. Open championship. Nice to see for somebody who's had a lot of heartbreak at the U.S. Open. Very happy to see Sabalenka claim this year's championship, and now she's slowly becoming the queen of the hard courts by winning 3 of the last 4 major championships on the hard courts. Also, let's talk about the person she beat, Jessica Pegula. Pegula, this was a very good feel-good story throughout the course of the whole entire tournament here. Pegula played great too, finishing runner-up at Cincinnati, runner-up here at the U.S. Open, losing to Sabalenka both times. It would be nice to see Pegula eventually win one of these for a change, but you have to be really proud of what she's done here in the later part of 2024. Earlier in the year, a little bit rough. She split up with her coaches, had a few injuries. Then she had a really good grass court season, and then unfortunately got upset at Wimbledon. Nice to see her kind of regroup and have this very good showing here at the U.S. Open. Also, guys, really quickly before we get into the bad category, just want to give a quick 2 honorable mentions into the good category. The semifinalists, Karolina, Muchova, and Emma Navarro. Both of those ladies, very good showings in this year's tournament. And especially for Muchova, too, nice to see her make a bounce back after dealing with injuries in the later part of the year. And Navarro, great 2024, continuing on here with this great U.S. Open showing, making it to the semifinals. All right, now we get into the bad guys. I have 2 people in this category. Let's get started with Coco Gauff. Gauff was the defending champion coming into this year's tournament, and I know, right, she had a tough draw. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But the way she played was kind of the issue here. She started off beating the people she was supposed to beat, gets that big matchup with Emma Navarro. Navarro, of course, beat her at Wimbledon, and she did not play great at all, had so many double faults in that matchup. That's not what we're used to seeing from Coco Gauff. That was a very bad performance. Again, not surprised that Navarro beat her. Navarro's a very tough out for anybody, but Gauff played really bad in that matchup. Also, guys, in this category, somebody else I want to talk about is Iga Swiatek. Swiatek, a little bit of a rough start in round 1, but still won in straight sets. She made it all the way to the quarters, which is a very good showing, and she got all the way there without dropping a set. But then ran into red-hot Jessica Pegula and looked awful in that matchup. Again, Pegula's playing great. I'm not taking anything away from what Pegula did. But Swiatek, that's not what we're used to seeing from her. That was a very rough showing. That was a very hard quarterfinal matchup to watch from Iga Swiatek. And guys, I do have one other quick one here in the bad category, a little honorable mention. Didn't know really, you could kind of make the case to put them in the good, but I'm putting them in the bad for the way how things ended here in Paula Badosa. Badosa, great showing throughout the course of this tournament. Had a very good hard court season before the U.S. Open here and made it to the quarterfinals. It was a very good showing. Glad to see Paula Badosa in the quarterfinals. But that second set, she's up 5-1 on Emma Navarro. Loses at 7-5 and got steamrolled after being up 5-1 in that second set. That was rough to watch. So just kind of the way, again, good tournament overall, but the way how it ended was very bad for Paula Badosa. And now, guys, we finally wrap things up here with the ugly, and I'm going to go with Danielle Collins. Collins was having a very good 2024 overall here, and in that corner of the bracket, which was with Swiatek and with Jessica Pegula, I thought she was definitely a sleeper to come out of that corner of the bracket with the body of work she did in 2024, but losing in round 1, very bad showing for Danielle Collins. Very upsetting to see her lose in the U.S. Open so early like this. So that was the good, the bad, and the ugly from this year's Women's U.S. Open. It was a great tournament overall, and it's sad to see that it's all wrapped up here and that the 4 major championships have come to an end here in 2024, but still some more tennis to be played here. So guys, just remember, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll have continued coverage from everything going on in the tennis world as we conclude throughout the course of this year.